Welcome back to Escape from Mars. We're still stuck on this planet and fighting G-Corp. Now, we made this amateur map to show a bit what's going on. So we can see there's several things on this planet. We have our home, marked in blue. Then we have some base that's up on the hill somewhere there, where the large steel tube shipment is coming from. We have the danger marker, flight research station with some more aggressive station behind it. So those are somewhere there and far in the distance. Then we have Mickey Scrap, of course, in white. It's also on the map. And then we have the headquarters and some communication center. So that's more or less what we're fighting. And today we will take out one of these bases. So I think it makes most sense to try to either take out the flight research station, which has a different name. It's maybe like a drone construction base or something, or the communication center. Either one of those makes sense. I was considering the danger one, but we raid their shipment, so maybe it's smart to leave that for now. And in order to do so, in order to take out one of these bases, we probably have to add some firepower to our tank, which we have given a name. So this is now called Roach, after Vernon Roach from The Witcher. Nice and geeky. And yeah, I think we have to redesign this a little bit. Not the outside, but just the gun part. So let's do that. I'll skip the building and add it to the end of the video. And after that we go and attack one of these bases. So let me introduce you to the new design of our tank, which is now called Roach. It has what looks like 2 rocket launchers, but those are actually just turrets. You can see the little Gatling guns in there. So we went from 2 Gatling guns to 5. Now these are a bit tricky to set up, so I hope we did it correctly. And this should be better, I hope. There's a lot of hoping involved, a lot of prayers as well. What are we doing? Are we... Well, I guess the weapons work. This is a wreck, right? Probably they were still set to propulsion. So I think this is the one that we took last time, so it should be missing all the loot. Yeah. Alright, well, if you had any question if this worked, then the answer is it does. And what we're hoping to achieve with this is to raid the flight research station, I think. So actually, Airbase it's called. Right, should try to remember that. So that's the aim. I'm not sure how heavily guarded it is, so we will carefully approach, see if that is something that we can do. If it has rocket launchers, which we don't, then we might reconsider, because yeah, large grid weapons are much more dangerous than small grid ones, and rocket launchers are double the amount of dangerous. So that's something that we have to look out for. Ideally, I hope that there's some shipment that we can first try a new setup on. But I guess from this encounter we know that it should work, so might not be a big problem. Quickly grab some resources, because we are pretty much out of iron. I'm pretty sure we destroyed all the batteries, so I'm not sure how it's able to do this. That's a nice amount of emergency supplies. I think that's more than sufficient. So we'll store that in our rover and head out to see what this flight research station, airbase, what this airbase is all about. So the big question is, how heavily guarded is this place? Do they have rockets? And also, I guess, if they will send out drones.
Tower reports convoy arrived.
I'm not sure how well we are defended against drones. I think not very well, to be honest. Ah, memories. This is the place where we tried to convert a grid to a rover and failed horribly. You can see a little bit of smoke coming from the flight research station. That was a really cool place. That's where we got this thing from. But we converted it from a drone into a rover. Incomplete drone, I guess it was. Alright, so we can have a bit of a sneak peek using a turret. Looks like some sort of tower with a little platform attached to it. Can we see it clearly? No, we have to stand a bit on a hill, I guess. So we're within 2 kilometers, so usually these kind of facilities would send off drones already. So it looks like this one isn't going to do it. Or it's just a bit of a slow thinker. Sorry for the wobbly view, we're still driving. So that looks to be either an auto or assault cannon, so that will hurt us a lot. And then there's the platform with a lot of guns. Might even have some underneath it. Yeah, I think so. So this is definitely not the right side to attack it from, if we should attack it at all. We can check from the other side, so more from the flight research station. I think this is going to hurt too much. Did I bring medkits? Of course not. It's not smart. Let's briefly check if our settings are correct before we actually go in there. Might be smart. So the important thing that I always do wrong is that I didn't switch on the AI, but it's actually on. This is the max radius, target stations, target weapons, right? And for the second one, I think it's also correct. I think we're ready. I just realized that this is really exposed. We should probably not do that. Not that this will help a lot, but I guess all little bits will help. Right, a little bit reinforced. I think that will help. Alright, so visibility is 0. I think we'll wait out the storm a little bit. Let's seek shelter at the flight research station. Trying not to crash into any rocks. Right, there's a big crater here. It's a bit of a health and safety hazard. Nice. I will quickly grind down some glass, because I forgot that that was here actually. While we wait out the storm. Right, let's try again. New day. No storms. Can we go to the airbase? I fast forwarded a little bit so you don't see footage of me grinding down 10 windows. And we just delivered like 250 glass panels or something to our base. So that's the bit that's left out. Oh. Alright, well that's not the way to do it. That almost went horribly wrong. Guess we have to be a bit more careful. And thank God that we have a lot of gyroscopes. Plan is simple. We will try and attack the airbase from the side of the flight research station in blue. Because this side is poorly defended. At least much less than the other side. And there's a little staircase there as well. So if we can manage to sneak in that way, that will help us a lot. Then they will be able to shoot already at 800 meters, whereas we have to do with our 600 meters of range. And we hope that we have a bit of a chance to make it. What we should avoid is to get into range of the autocannon, because that will kill us in a horrible way. Or assault, I still don't know which one it is, and I always confuse the two. I think the assault one is with a very long range and very big damage. Yeah, this is the correct side. Let's go for it. We will try to dodge a bit. Probably will help if we switched on the gyroscope. We didn't. I guess we will have very unpredictable movements. So for some reason the left... Hey! Alright, so the cockpit is gone. That's a bit of a problem. Can we tell you to shut up somehow? Nope, not really. Nope. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. I guess the only thing we can do is to start shooting as well. Alright. Sort of managed. There's not a whole lot left. Do we even have our battery? Can we access things through this? Can we brake? There's no way to do this, is there? Alright, apparently it stopped. Battery is in very poor shape. Everything is in poor shape. I think this is our rover gun. The only thing that it does provide us is with some kind of inventory. Construction components. Can we steal some from... somewhere? Yeah. Alright, so that's the dream. That's what we need. So by some miracle, we were able to take it out. Let's not be overly confident. I'm a little bit in shock still from that whole battle, and I'm curious what we'll find here. Yeah, right, that's a gun. Right? Should have probably hijacked that now. It's too late now. Alright, let's see if we can get our rover back here. Anything that's worth looting? No, and I also shouldn't go too far out of the range of that. Because the one thing that a rover is very useful for is the cargo capacity. And to be brutally honest, I think things that we spend time constructing, metal grids, right? These two things, they are a bit shit. I'm a little bit worried about the steel shipment. Oh, that is sneaky.
Welcome back.
Your health is low.
That is very sneaky.
Energy low.
We should probably charge that up. Take a gun. And there's still some spare tools over there. But we might need ammo. Cool. Let's try again. I guess we will take the bike. Ooh, what we might do, that's smart maybe, is take the materials to build a new Gatlin. Yeah, we are getting low on resources, that much is clear. And we're out of cobalt as well. Well, it will have to do. That's our tank. Alright. Attempt number 2. So we definitely found our tank. I guess we do need our lights. But better be right about the spare tools in the back, because otherwise we have a bit of a problem. Yes. Alright, so we can make it. Will it have... Oh god. What are you shooting at? Alright. Most important thing. We have some sort of power from this very tiny battery, I think. Which is... Huh.
Tower reports convoy arrived.
That seems to do all right. We are very low on ammo, right? So we want to switch off the turret that doesn't really work well, and we want to retrieve whatever ammo we can get. So let's remove this. All right, we'll just grind it down, I guess. Nice. All right, so we got that ammo. That's very nice. We got one functional turret. I guess we'll leave this as a distraction because it doesn't have ammo anyway. And what we don't really want to do is to fix things where possible. That's the emergency repairs done. And we want to have some control on the Gatling. So on, off. Control, target weapons, target stations. Right, parking brake. And also target enemies on, off, I guess. So that's now off. So we can switch this on. And we can control manually. Where is that damn turret? That's not an interior one, is it? Well, it looks to be quite heavy, to be honest. Alright, so we managed to do this first bit. Then, very important, we want whatever remains of batteries, we want it to be on recharge. Alright, so what battery are we using then? Still has a battery somewhere, alright. That's what saves us. Alright, I think we are on top of things, relatively speaking. We still have oxygen, not a lot. Should last us quite a while. We got a weapon. Let's see what's going on. Don't trust dead. Alright, give me 5 seconds. Jeez, alright. This is pretty cool.
You are not authorized. Deploying defenses.
Gatling ammo. Oh, that's nice. Right, so we preferably don't want that. I think we already triggered it, but let's just to be sure. Let's take that out. This is an elevator. Doesn't do anything. I think this is broken. So yeah, there was a bit of a brutal fight, even though we were just against, I think, 2 turrets or something, large grid turrets. So that's the contrast between small grid and large grid. Doesn't help that our turrets were a bit malfunctional. But yeah, that's the summary of how things work in Space Engineers. Small grid is really the underdog. That's a lot of loot, if that's really full with stuff. Alright, there's a turret there. Oh god, will that shoot through the wall? Apparently not. I'm terribly sorry, but this is it for today. A bit of a cliffhanger because we just found massive cargo containers. But next time we'll continue exploring this outpost. Thank you for joining. Special thanks for the people that went and subscribed. That's very kind of you. And I hope to see you around next time. As an outro, we'll show you how we made the custom turrets that worked oh so well. First remove the Gatling turrets. I think we have to move this one forward a bit, and in general the design doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So we start with a clean, fresh design. Now for the part in the back, I was thinking to play around with custom turrets with one of those cool controller units. We should be able to make those, right? Yeah, we are. So with that you can add double the number of guns, for instance, from using still a very compacted design. So that would be the advantage. And the disadvantage is that it's a bit of a hassle to set it up and still get all the degrees of freedom, so to say, for moving around. So it can be a bit tricky. So let's see if we can figure it out today. So yeah, first get the materials for those, and we want to add some conveying as well. Alright, let's build you guys up. Can we name you so that we still know what's going on? Cool, so that's working. Then we want this to be upside down, then on top of that. Nope, that's the wrong spot. Let's try again. Luckily these are not too expensive. Right, so that's working out. Then we can add some conveying. I think we'll just add some blocks here for now.
Tower reports convoy arrived.
Alright, so that is able to get ammo. That's nice. And now this mess. This is a proper mess. So for starters, I think we want to remove this cage design. I guess we can just continue this conveyor line, right? All the way to here. Might suffice. Could add some cargo here even. Might not be a horrible idea. So if we add a cargo container over here, with these two connections to the side. The real question is, where do we want our turrets to sit? So how far out do we want to move? We could make it work if we make it here, I think. So if we go like, add a rotor here. Let's continue our fantastic draft. I think we need a bit of a staircase, unfortunately. Nice, so then we want to add the conveyor. It's gonna do that exactly. Because we want to aim it down, so the gun is gonna attach like that. Otherwise we can never aim downwards, and that's another pitfall of designing these things. And for the next bit, ideally we want to move it backwards one as well. And then we'll attach the turret. Gatling, I think. We use fancy ones or old-fashioned. I think the old-fashioned will be cool. We will attach them like. Don't think they will fit there now, actually. Oh no, they don't care. All right, so that bit is fixed then. Will we add heavy armor? Maybe that will make a lot of sense, right? It's not that expensive. 2 metal grids, I think we could have that. Should at least add some protection. See that even though we started very small, it's getting quite big already. To is one of the tricky bits. Alright, let's see if this is something that might work. Looks a bit more like a rocket launcher than anything else. Still looks strange, but let's leave it for now. I think the important bit will be to test if this actually works. Now we didn't attach a camera to it yet. Wasn't really aiming on getting that. However, might be nice to add one, just for the testing phase, I guess. Alright, let's see if this works. So we get the right. Oh, we probably have to name these things as well. And then we want a third controller, which uses the rotor and the hinge. And, oh, not sure. Oh, yeah. And then we want camera. And let's see if we can control it, which is done by this. Looks like the hinge is the wrong way around. It's a bit of a bummer. It's just true because this bit is to aim to the front. So that's annoying. So that's the elevation one, so we reverse it. That's how you do it. And then we control it again. Nice. That's working. Now we want to add the weapons. We also have to name probably. And then we should be able to fire. Although we don't have ammo yet, which is perfect. So we don't actually damage our base. Right, that works. Happy with that. We have to figure out the rotating bit still. Let's not remove those blocks just yet. Let's first connect this. So I don't know if this will still turn, so we have to test that. It looks perfectly fine, to be honest. You can aim downwards pretty much. That's a reminder to myself that now we do have ammo. And we can still aim upwards pretty decently, so that's... I don't think this is a too horrible design. Though we are a bit exposed that way. Alright. So I guess it's the moment to fill in the gaps then, and mirror it as well.